Greetings everyone, thanks for joining me in yet another one of my reviews covering CCTV products. This time we've got a product from one of my favorite manufacturers, ieGeek. It is the zsgx2s. Say that fast 10 times. Anyway, it's the outdoor rated, battery operated with solar power camera. And we are going to open this box up, show you what's in it, and then we're going to show you how to set the app up on the camera, and we'll do a complete outdoor installation and some reviews for you. So this is the long version of the review. We're also going to have a short one out there on YouTube. So be right back with the unboxing. All right. Just an FYI, I did open this up last night and charged it, so it had a full charge for the setup. And again, from ieGeek, the boxes come packaged really well. Fairly extensive information in the manual. It's not like some of those that come in a little strip of paper. Of course, we've got the solar power for the unit, which is pretty standard. And I believe this is like a 9-foot cord. Anyway, I've never run out of cord. It's always been long enough for my needs. This would be the mount for the solar panel. And this would be the mount for the camera. Obviously black and white. Here's a cable for you for doing pre-charging on the camera. And here's the camera itself, packaged very nicely. Anyway, before we forget, let's get this off of here. And so you've got your lens, obviously, and over here you got your microphone. This is your, this light indicates that the unit is on, and I believe it'll also indicate when it's in the setup mode. You've got your IR and white lights here, and this is your PIR motion sensor. Two types of motion sensing in consumer products nowadays. You've got the PIR, which is passive infrared. That's looking for body heat, and it's usually looking for a fairly good amount of body heat, namely from a human body. It'll ignore very small animals. And the reason is PIRs are nice is because at night the white light or the IR light can attract bugs. And if this was using a digital motion sensor, which is looking for pixel movement in the picture, those bugs would be triggering it and sending false alarms. But with the PIR, that brings the risk of that down drastically. I'm not saying it'll eliminate it completely, but it comes very close. Here's your two high gain antennas for your Wi-Fi. This is the mount that would go on there. And down below we have our speaker. And under this cover here, we've got power and reset buttons. And we've got the plug here to recharge it via a charging cable. And there's your slot for your micro SD card. And since we're talking about that, let's throw that in right now. I'm using a 64 gig here, and it'll hold up to 128 gig, but this is only recording events. It's not recording all the time. So I don't really see a need to have it much more than this. In fact, sometimes I'll even do a 32 gig. Now, if this were AC powered and running 24/7 recording, then yeah, I would definitely use the 128 on it. Okay. Anyway, that gives you an idea of the camera itself. Now, what do you say we do some, get the app set up to get this programmed for watching and getting alerts and things like that. Okay, as you can tell, I've already got the app up. It's the Cloud Edge app, and it's one of my favorite apps. As you can see, I've got several cameras on it already. And first thing we need to do with this app is there's a little plus up here. We'll touch on that plus. And it just so happens that battery camera is the first one on the list. Otherwise, you'd go down the list and pick the type of camera you're using. So let's go ahead and go into battery camera.
The device power button to start the device.
And I don't know if you can hear the prompts that the app has given me, but it'll actually walk you through the process here. So what I'm going to do next is power this thing up, and that would be with this. I'll just push and hold this until we get a signal of some kind. There, the red light came on and we heard that little ding-a-ling. Okay, so next, we'll go to the next option here.
Please reset the device by holding
now
the
it wants
reset
us to hit the reset button.
Wait for
and
the
hold that.
indicator
That's this
light
button
to
right
flash
here.
red.
So push that. There we go. So that reset went to manufacturer's reset. And it's notified my phone of the same thing. Let's go to next here. And I'm going to back out
and enter your
of this just for a second because it's showing my password. And I'm sorry, but I don't want anybody to see that. So let me go to the next step.
Please remove all film from the lens.
Okay.
Tap next
now
to
we
show
are
a
back.
QR code and let your device
and
scan the code.
It wants me
Keep your
to,
phone
when we
5
hit
to
the
8
next
inches
page
from
here,
the
it's going to
lens.
show us the QR code, and the camera will read that and help the setup process. So let's do that. And there. That wasn't hard, was it? Okay, now let's hit next again.
Connecting.
It's searching for the device on our network. It found it. Found it pretty dang quick too. Okay, let's hit that.
Put camera and phone at
Put
the
the
place of
camera
camera
and phone at a place of
Press next
installation.
to enter network diagnostic.
Okay, so what we're going to do now is we are going to go out and set this camera up, and then we'll continue from there. I believe I'm going to go to the next page here, though, just so you can see what it'll say next. I'm curious to see what the signal is, too, because we're clear across the house from the router. And I want to see what kind of signal we're getting with the antennas down and everything. Come on. There we go.
There we go.
Actually, we're getting a normal signal, and that is darn good. The signals are not, or the antennas are not in the optimal position, and as I said, we're clear across the house. Okay, let's go outside. All right. Before I go too far here, I just want to point out, if you see some damage on the house or behind me in the neighborhood, that's because we've recently been hit by Hurricane Ian, and the neighborhood hasn't recovered yet. So it's not that I have a rundown house, it's just that we were basically run down by Ian. We didn't get hit too bad at our house, but the neighborhood was really hurt and our community was devastated. So Southwest Florida's got some work to do to get back into shape. In any case, I have a solar panel up here already, and the mounts are both up. So I just need to get this screwed in here. And we're going to look at our driveway here. This is my trusty test stand here. This is what I use to test all my cameras. That way I don't have to go drilling a bunch of holes in the stucco until I know where I want, that I know they're going to work for me, and I know for sure where I'm going to mount them. Nothing worse than having stucco with a bunch of holes in it. Here you see a little tab inside here. I'm going to pop out. Actually, let's put it on that side. Basically what that does is it lets me put that in the hole there and still do a nice weather tight seal here. So let me put this in here like that, and there we go. We got it plugged in. It goes into the same plug that I showed you earlier for pre-charging it from a wall outlet. Okay, let's put up these antennas, and that's pretty much it. It doesn't take much to install these things. They're very simple, just like the rest of the installation. So I'm going to do some testing now for the next day or so, and I'll be back to you through the magic of editing. I'll be back to you almost instantaneously with the results of the editing and some programming tips. So see you in a bit. All right, we're back. Let's take a look at some of these this video that was shot yesterday and last night, and get an idea of what this camera can do. And to be honest with you, I accidentally had this on standard definition at first, so all these daylight shots and some of the nighttime shots were shot with just standard definition. I think just the last couple nighttime shots had the high definition setting. Anyway, while you watch that, I'm going to go over some of these specifications with this for you. It's the ieGeek ieGeek zsgx2s solar charged battery powered outdoor camera. It's got adjustable colorful day or night vision. It has wireless 2.4 gig Wi-Fi with dual 4 dBi antennas. It has a 45 to 80 dB siren alarm. It includes a two-way audio. You can use up to 128 gig micro SD card. The cards are not included. You need to buy that on your own. And you also have the option to purchase a cloud storage package. It'll work with iOS or Android. Just go to their stores and you can get the apps. It's the Cloud Edge app. It uses human, motion, or sound detection for the alarm. It has 2K full high definition resolution video using a Sony 1/3 CMOS color sensor. It has a 10,400 milliamp hour rechargeable battery that is charged by the solar panels. So you probably never, if you have good sun in your area, you probably never have to unplug the solar panel and charge it via the AC. It has 15-meter night vision range. It uses a PIR, passive infrared motion sensor, for the motion detection. And okay, I believe these last couple here were in the full high definition mode, and that pretty much covers the video that I shot. Let's go into the settings on this puppy and see what kind of changes we can make on it. Very top of this, you notice that it still has the manufacturer's ID number on it. We're going to change that here. But look at that Wi-Fi signal, 81%. I'm very impressed with that signal considering where it is outside. It's got to go through concrete block walls, which normally has some kind of mesh in them too, I believe. And so that's an excellent signal. So let's go into this, and you're going to see this partially faded out because it's got some personal network information on mine. So don't worry about the blur. We'll be back. Okay, now we're into changing the name. Let's just erase that, and we'll put driveway here. D-R-I-V-E-W-A-Y. And hit save up on top there. Now you can see it's driveway. Let's back out of this again too. Now, receive alert notifications. I have it off now because I didn't want to record more information on there to bore you with. But we're going to turn that back on. There's an installation guide here for you if you want to just go into that. Also, device share. You can share this with friends and family so they can get your alerts and they can review some of the videos and things like that. Work indicator. That's little lights on the front of the camera that tell you when it's on or it's in reset mode. I have it on, but you can turn that off if you don't like to see that flashing at night. Time settings. You can either go with a 12-hour clock or a 24-hour clock. Image settings. Now, on the bottom there, you'll see full color mode, and you have some. I think you have 3 choices. Yeah. This is the intelligent vision mode. It automatically cuts to color image when it sees motion. You'll see little white lights come on to bring out the color, and that's when it sees motion. Down below here, you have black and white night vision. You can turn that on and the white lights won't come on. Sometimes I prefer the black and white over the color, but in this case the camera did real well using color processing at night. A lot of times in either black and white or color at night, you'll see a ghosting image as the person walks. And I didn't see any of that on this camera. That's pretty good. So let's go back here. And sound settings. I have the microphone on and it'll record voice. The speaker's on. You have a speaker volume choice here. It's at 70. You can go up or down depending on how much you want to annoy neighbors and things like that. And alarm management. Okay. Motion detection is set on. Detection sensitivity is at 6. And it was pretty good picking me up in both daytime and nighttime. So I don't know that I would need to go any more than the 6. The alarm working mode. You have a couple different choices. Custom lets you make some choices about how long you want it to record whenever it sees motion. If you want an interval after each recording. So say somebody is out there, it's picked up and it records that. If that person is sticking around in the area, you're going to keep getting alarms. Here you can select a 2-minute, 5-minute, 10-minute. That means after each recorded segment, it's going to wait that amount of time before it'll send another alarm to you. If you have a busy area, you probably want to go to at least 10 minutes on that. We have night humanoid detection set on. That means it is going to try and look and determine whether or not it's a human person out there that's tripping the alarm before it sends you alert, rather than a piece of paper gliding through the picture or bugs, things like that. Alert plan, alarm area. This is kind of a neat feature. And what it does is, let me back up here. You can set an area. See how I'm adding to this, that area is where it's going to be looking for motion. And when it sees motion, it's going to, again, look for humanoid activity if possible. But up in the road area there, if somebody's walking by there, it shouldn't trip. It's only going to be looking for activity in this marked area. And I really like that. It usually works pretty well. Okay, alarm warning with strobe light. I have that off, but what happens is when it picks up motion, those white lights are going to start flashing like a strobe, hopefully to scare away the intruder. All right. Alarm battery management. That tells me that the solar panel is charging it. I'm not sure what the electricity usage statistics are. Let's take a look. Apparently, I haven't had it on long enough probably to get any statistics, but it looks like it might be able to tell you how it's charging and things like that. That's something new. I haven't seen that before. Okay. Cloud storage service. I normally don't use cloud storage. I'm content with the putting an SD card in there. Some people swear by cloud storage, so you may want to check it out. And you can also check for a new version here. And apparently I need to upgrade the software. I'm not going to do that right now, but when we're done here I will. It'll probably give me some, it's going to fix some bugs and optimize user experience. That's what it's going to do. Well, that pretty much gives you all the information you need to know to get started. And as you can see, I'm in the high definition mode. And in case you don't know it, by using your little fingers here, you can zoom in. And actually, that's darn good resolution. Look at that. You can zoom in and out just like you would with your camera phone. Okay, well, that's about it for today. As you can see on this, you can take screenshots of whatever is shown in the video there. You can turn the intercom on and off to talk to somebody outside. You can also record a segment that'll go to your storage on your phone or your pad or whatever you're using. You can turn on your motion sensor off there. You can even turn on the siren if you want to scare the heck out of somebody. I would never confess doing that to my wife, but I have turned the intercom on and said a few nice things to her. You can turn the light on out there if you want without tripping any alarms. So the camera, it's a very nice camera, ieGeek, and I would probably give it 5 stars myself. You're going to have to determine that on your own. But in the meantime, I want to thank you for being with me today and doing the review on this. And I hope to see you in the future. I do a lot of CCTV equipment videos. And you take care of yourself. Bye now.